All right, good morning. Welcome back. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Can't believe it. Another year gone. Wild. The years are now flying by. Morning, guys. Welcome back to another stream, to our last stream of 2025. That's crazy. When did we start these? Let me look at my phone. What is this going to be now? Content. Live. Sort by. Damn, I can't go by oldest? I want to say 4 years ago, right? 4 to 5 years ago. That's wild. Yeah, I gotta go back and go to our first live stream. That'd be very interesting to watch, huh? Go see how I react, like how I just, just the tone of my voice and all that. I'm actually gonna try to figure. I want to go back today. Have I gone back and looked at the old video? Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's easy to go back to my first video. That is some funny stuff. Yeah, what a journey. What a journey with you guys. What an interesting. Never would have thought that this was. I don't know. You think back on some of those times, and it's quite interesting to think about. So appreciate you guys for all the support and making this possible, and having us even have a show every morning. So I'm not just talking to myself every day. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for all the support this year. Hopefully you have become a better trader in some sense due to the levels and advice that we provide. That's all I could hope. So yeah, thanks for taking us on this ride. Appreciate that, Mark. Congrats on the account win, Mark, on the giveaway. I'm gonna get your email out to Take Profit Trader today. Congrats on the win. Nice to see you win, Mark. Nice to see a familiar face. Yeah, even if a lot of you guys recognize me on, I actually had someone recognize me. I wonder if he's watching right now. Recognize me on the airplane back to Florida from JFK. That was cool. So it happens every once in a while. Pretty sweet. Nice to see you guys. You guys get to see how short I am, and you get to see what I look like in person. He's probably like, damn, that guy's shorter than I thought. David, how's it going, man? Levels on point. Yeah. Gold level yesterday goes boof. Our gold idea yesterday was our gold levels yesterday were spot on. Awesome. ...2007 was... How old was I then? That's 20 years ago. No, it can't be 2007. I was 10 years old. I was like 10 to 12 years old. That can't be. That's interesting. Wonder how I got that number. I'm 5'7". That's my height. So if you guys ever see me in person. Appreciate that, Agnes. All right. 2026 breakout year. Yes, sir. Blue. All right, guys. So let's get started. Hope you had a good day yesterday. Yesterday, I did nothing besides trade some gold. We talked about the market being inside the channel. That was the most ridiculous day yet. I would check my phone like every hour, and I would see the S&P 500 trading within 2 points of what I checked it like an hour prior. So an unbelievably ridiculous price action day yesterday. But this is what we planned for, right? And so what we're talking about in the group more than anything into 2026 is if we expect that choppy action, and it's within key levels, and it's within our chop zone, then don't expect anything different, right? So yesterday we walked in with the expectation of it being choppy. It was choppy, and that's it, right? End of story. That's what we have to accept, right? So we need to start continuing to accept what it is, what the market's doing. It's okay to not make any money. Again, not making money is better than losing money. And it's okay to just wipe away a day like yesterday. forget about it. It's a nothing day. It's a day that's passed, right? And it's just, we don't need to be taking actions on every single day when action is not at the best. And this is something that is super important to me moving forward, because I'll tell you guys, right, after 12 years of trading, it wears on you. And I'm sick and tired of doing, those types of actions and trying to make something out of nothing on days where the market clearly isn't providing. And this is going to be just such a focus of mine moving forward. So yesterday, I didn't do anything. I traded some gold because that's all that was really, it was perfect off our read here on the live stream. Made a few $100, got outside, call it a day, right? Looked at my phone, couldn't have been happier. Every time I checked my phone, I said, what a ridiculous day. Happy I'm not at my desk, right? Happy I'm not just stuck there trying to make something out of nothing, right? More of those days into 2026, more of those days where we step in with a game plan, we stick to the game plan, and we abide by the rules that we set, right? So let's continue to do that. That's the motto into 26. More discipline, trade less, make more. And yeah, here we go. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. I did make sure that the voice would work today before I started the stream, so no problems on the voice here today. So here, let's get started. Today, I realized yesterday we forgot to do the economic calendar. So let me make sure, and we had the minutes, which did we even move anywhere on FOMC minutes? I mean, yeah, I didn't even, was it that chop fest of a day that 2 o'clock did absolutely nothing? Yeah, 2 o'clock did absolutely nothing. Did the minutes even come out? I just totally forgot about that. Did the minutes even come out yesterday? It's now gone off the calendar. Did it even happen? Oh, no, it's still there. 2 o'clock. I don't even see a reaction, so I'm not even sure it came out. But you guys can let me know, because I wasn't paying attention. I was not watching the market at 2 o'clock yesterday. 5'7" is tall for a guy. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thanks for the ego boost. Sid, espresso on us. Have a good day at mentorship. See you next year. Sid, appreciate that, man. Thanks for all the support lately, brother. It did? Yeah, I mean, if it did, it didn't do nothing. So another day of nothing there. All right. Today, no economic day. Actually, we have unemployment claims 8:30. Okay, so unemployment claims 8:30. So that's all we got today. So we'll see that in the pre-market here, 8:30. So what's the game plan today? Well, it's pretty damn clear. Actually, let's start on the NASDAQ futures, because there is a very clear spot, and this is possibly, and I use the word possibly because we have to see how the day starts, but this is possibly the first day this week that I open up an options trade. Because where are we now trading? Right? We have broken this channel, and this is good, right? This is good. So it's good to see the market breaking outside of this Monday, Tuesday range. So that's very good, right? Are we outside of the range? Yes. Are we making a new low of the week? Yes. These are all things that could induce volatility, that could induce actual momentum, actual direction. So this is good right now. I'm happy to see what you're looking at in the pre-market today. There is one thing that I need to see for my trade idea to develop. I need to see the overnight gap get filled, right? And I need to see Monday, Tuesday's lows turned into rejections. So Monday lows, Tuesday's lows, I need to see that turn into a failure point. If I see a break and retest rejection today, I think that could definitely be a trade idea, shorting down into these highs here at 25.5 and possibly down into the 25.4. And this is finally that area that we talked about that could provide that opportunity, right? Underneath, it might be, we might want to actually, I have to put this back on. I forgot to put this back on. Sorry, 1 second. I do want to put my level back at 25.6 and these lows from Tuesday, because that could be a spot that steps up as a support. So I do want to put that back on the chart there. Yes. Okay. So here's what I would be looking at today, right? I would be looking at whether the Monday and Tuesday lows turn into a lower high, right? Do the previous lows of this week right here, this 25,650, 25,668, and the daily 50 SMA, does it show me a failure, right? Do I see pops and fades at this level? That's the first thing I need to answer, okay? Now, I could either take my risk there, right, and take a potential short entry back into the Tuesday lows, yesterday's lows, back into the Monday's lows, and look for fades in this area on a retest rejection. If I do take this short up here, I will have to be careful of 25.6 holding, right? This level still maintaining. Or what I could do is allow the 25,650 rejection to come in, right? Allow this downside to start to show, and then wait until we break under 25,600, which would be a break under these lows and a break under these highs. At that point, I would be very confident that you would trade down to the 500, trade down into the 400 area. So we are getting that break and retest rejection. We are getting that move through this low volume area that we talked about, right? Remember, we've been saying all this week, be careful of this area. Be careful of this area. This area could need to get filled. No good deed goes unpunished, right? This was straight up. Do we need a pullback to 25.4? I think it's very possible. I think that is very possible that you need to come back down to this 25.4, that you need to give back this straight up move. And if we do set up a rejection here at the daily 50, and we do set up a rejection at Monday, Tuesday's lows, this could be a gorgeous break and retest rejection. It really could. But that doesn't mean the bell rings and I start slamming shorts today. That's not what that means, right? What do I need to see? I need to see very clear and very vivid rejections and failures to reclaim the previous lows of this week. Because if the NASDAQ reclaims these lows and turns them back into support, you are going to trade right back within this channel. And this will be a short trap, all right? So you need to be open to both sides. You cannot walk in today and say, I am just going to short this move. I don't care about anything else. This is a rejection play, and I will be short, all right? You need to be watching what happens here. That is very important. Is it failures? Is it strength, right? Do we just rip through this zone today? It's very possible, right? It's very possible that the market just goes like this off the open, and then we pull back and we hold, and then the short is just completely trapped. So be open to both sides. However, this is interesting for the options trades today because we have broken the lows, right? We have now a possibility of continuation. Now, this is where I want to get more active on options. If we trade within these channels, I'm more on the future side, right? Because I can manage my risk. If I am seeing real continuation potential and break and retest rejections or break and retest holds, I would get more interested in the option side. So definitely watching this zone, watching the daily 50 today, looking to see if that's a failure. Very interesting. Target would be the 25,400, which is right here. I think it's a very vivid target. It's a very clear previous high area, and it's a very clear pullback long, and this would also be a good retracement from these lows, right? If you take a retracement from these lows to these highs, that is a 50% retracement right at 25.4. That is still a very bullish situation, right? Big squeeze, 50% retracement, still bullish. But you can trade it on the downside, and you can look for that downside and trade it to that downside target, and then understand that that could flip back into a long, right? So I'm very intrigued by this today. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to have to allow it to set up, and I also can't get biased because it very well could just pop back over Monday, Tuesday's lows and then turn into a long again. So being open to both sides here, very important. But that is a very good look, something I'm very intrigued by today. Okay, S&P 500, very similar look. What needs to happen on the S&P 500 today? The ES futures, you need to see the 69.40 to 69.36 zone turn into a rejection, right? So here's your Tuesday lows. Here's your Monday lows. Here's where you're trading back into today. Does this area turn into a lower high? That is all I'm interested in today. Do we see failures within 36 to 40? Nice little 4-point zone to be watching what happens within. If you see some heavy rejections in here, then I think you could look for that downside move, back down towards that daily 20, back down towards that 69.10, 69.13. Very interesting. Now, here's what you have to be careful of. If the S&P 500 reclaims this Tuesday low, yesterday's low, and goes like this, right, then that short is over, and that short is invalidated, and you cannot be short if that happens. So you are back at this Monday low. You have this Tuesday low right above. Within this area, you need to see failures. If you don't see failures within here and you get back above it, then you need to back off the short idea. It's very important what happens within this zone here today. You can already see the failures that happened here, right? And it created nice downside. So we're looking to see if that same thing happens again. Right now, you're getting a little bit of a pop, right? So this, we'll have to see what happens here. But 69.40 is the key spot, okay? I like that short. I like it back into the 69.10, 69.13, these lows right here from Tuesday of last week. But that's only if we see a failure. Right now, this could set up a short trap, and we could just sort of pop back higher and get right back within this channel again. That's super possible as well. So watching both scenarios here today on the S&P 500 futures, that is a really clean read. We just now need to watch price action, right? We have good reads in the morning, and then we use price action to confirm or deny those theses. So that's what we're looking at. Under the 69.10, you do have some pretty gappy action down here, which could get more aggressive. Depends on, what we see on the intraday. SPY. So, same thing. On the SPY, I am watching previous day lows. I'm watching Monday's lows. You can see right here, you have Tuesday's lows, PDL right here, right? So you have PDL right here, and you have the Monday lows here. I am very focused on what you see at PDL today. So you can see Tuesday's lows, yesterday's lows, 686.58 right here. What happens right here today? If you get over this and turn it back into support, you are going higher, and you are likely to just channel again within that range from yesterday. If you fail yesterday's lows and turn it into a rejection again, then you are likely to see a break and retest rejection to the downside. And to me, that could navigate to right here, 683.32. That's these lows right here. That could be your target to the downside if you see a rejection of previous day lows and looking for a target of 683.32. If you get back over yesterday's lows, then you trade right back into this 688 and you just channel inside of this zone again. So let's see, 686.58. That's what I'm going to be watching, previous day low. Today's a full day, but it's not a full day for me. I guess you could say that, right? But yes, it is a full trading day. Let's go to the QQQ. You can see right here, exact same thesis. If we go to the 30-minute chart on the QQQ, we have a very clear low from Monday. We have a very clear low from yesterday. You can see the low from yesterday is also the daily 20 SMA. So the question you have to answer today is, does the QQQ turn previous day lows into a lower high rejection at the daily 20 SMA? Right? That is so key today. Does the QQQ turn the previous day lows into rejections at the daily 20 SMA? Right? That is the most important question to answer today. Or does the QQQ reclaim previous day lows, reclaim the daily 20, and turn it back into support? And if that happens, then you trade right back up towards that 622 spot, right? And do the shorts get trapped from this overnight session? Okay. Previous day close on the Qs is pretty much right at our previous day low. I mean, it's like right at it. So that gap fill and that break and retest rejection of previous day low would come in pretty much at the same spot here today. So right there, right? Very, very key. Such a clean read. Let's see what happens there today. Now, here's the reason why I think you need to be careful on the short side today. and why I think you could see the market reclaim. There's one thing working for the bulls today. And I think that one thing that's working for the bulls today is not under previous day lows. And it is not under Monday's lows. So you have outperformance on the semiconductors. That is a major driver to tech strength, and that is a major driver to NASDAQ strength. So this is the one reason why I'm a little bit cautious on my short idea and a little bit cautious of the rejections today. I'm a little bit cautious that this is a little bit of a bear trap under the lows from yesterday. The reason for that, once again, is because the SMH is outperforming. If the SMH is strong today, off this low again, this daily 20 low that we've been looking at, and if this thing pushes higher, the NASDAQ is absolutely going higher. So, that being said, right, this diminishes the rejection play today. And I would be very aware of this if you are looking for short side. If you're looking for short side today, I think you need to be very careful of the SMH holding strong. Right? If that happens, I think you could definitely see markets continue higher. So please be aware of that. Please be careful of that today. That's super important. Yeah, that's it. All right. Let's continue. So let's go to the gold futures, which were just awesome yesterday. I actually have the live trades from yesterday. I forgot to post them. Yesterday, we talked about some very clear potential failures on gold at the previous daily chart highs. I mean, this could not have been a better read yesterday. We talked about these triple top highs on gold here at 44.34 to this 44.09 right here, right? We said, hey, we could see failures here. We could see failures here on a little fail and a push back into that level. And if you go to the 15-minute chart, you can see that that is the exact zone that failed yesterday. All right, we had a nice little pre-market bear flag, sort of pushing back up into that level, back into our supply zone. We rejected it, and what a beautiful downside move overall throughout the day yesterday on gold, hitting our target to a T. 4,300, 4,286. I mean, the levels could not be more perfect on gold yesterday. Man, what a beauty, right? If we go here, here you go. Make sure you can see that. Here it is, all right? Cautious of these highs on GC today. We're pushing back higher into double top rejection right here. See this? See this? This is our demand low. That's where gold went. Perfection. Awesome. This is what keeps me confident that gold is a great asset to trade because look at how perfect it respected levels. Previous rejection highs, perfect rejection. Previous lows, previous highs here, perfect holds. So yesterday's move, A plus action, right? That's A plus action right there. So today, we're going to be looking to see if there's another trade on gold. Definitely, right? After seeing that action yesterday, I would definitely be looking to see if there's another trade here. The only trade now is to potentially long these lows, right? That's really the only trade now is to long this low here, or if you fail the 42.86 low, then you are going to see more downside, right? If you fail this low, you get more downside towards 4,200, which could be a big trade opportunity. But for now, gold definitely looks to be trying to hold that demand low. As you can see here, very strong demand low holding. You could watch that daily 20. I'm not that big of a fan of that trade. I'm not really that big of a fan of failing the daily 20 and shorting into this low, so that's not really a setup for me. Really, the best trade was the yesterday downside. At this point, you either need another big pop into this supply high, right, or you're going to have to look to long this low up into this high. That's going to be, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not in love. I'm in love with this one. Not in love with this one as much, but let's see what happens at this 4,300 low today on gold. Awesome trade yesterday. Silver, we're back at the major lows. 70.69 area right here, major lows right here, and there we are again. I would look to see if this pop and fade comes in today. I don't mind that look on silver. These highs, these highs, these highs, 72, 73 area. I don't mind that look. Look to see if we get a little pop and fade at this key supply area. That could be a nice spot to watch. All right. So, yeah, that's that. Where's the ES? Are we pushing higher? Yeah, we're pushing right into the Tuesday low. So this is going to be a huge test here this morning. Do we get above it? Do we reject it? Very important to watch today. All righty. If you guys could, please press that like button. We got 1,400 people here today. We got 500 likes. Actually, we got 1,500 people here, 500 likes. 1/3 of you has pressed the like button today. If you guys please could press that like button for me, that would be greatly appreciated. Let's try to get to 1,000 likes for 2026. It'd be nice to get 2,000. Let's get, what's half of 2026? 1,013. Is that right? Should be right? If you could get us 1,013 likes, that's the goal today. All right. Let's jump into some equities. Number one, Tesla. Tesla continues to sort of fade and be on the relative weak side. I would be very focused on what Tesla does at this Monday low now. So right here at this Monday low is what I would be watching. You can see right here, these lows, 457, 457. That's an interesting spot. If we reclaim this Monday low today, Tesla could just sort of navigate right back up into this channel. So what I'm going to be watching is Tesla at this 457 spot today. 457 also lines up with these previous highs right here, right? See this 457 previous high here and here. If Tesla rejects 457, then this downtrend continues, all right? If you see another 457 rejection right here at these previous highs, these previous highs, these previous lows, and this previous low right here, if this turns into a failure, I think you could see this navigate possibly to the 440, all right? You might be looking at a 441, 440 level. If you get above that 457 level, then you probably just trade right back into that 466 spot, and Tesla just sort of, stays sideways. Maybe trades back into that daily 20 up here that rejected yesterday. All right. So not too much on Tesla today for me. 457, sort of interesting. Let's keep an eye on that. NVIDIA. More strength, right? Continues to develop a hold at this daily 50 SMA. And this is what I'm talking about when I say semiconductor strength, right? Look in NVIDIA, daily 50. Hasn't come back to our retest level yet, but absolutely is consolidating well. And if that is strong and this SMH pushes off this 360 today, then this short idea is going to fail, right? This short idea is going to be a trap. So we need to be aware of what NVIDIA is doing. We need to be aware of what SMH is doing. We need to be aware of what these semiconductors are doing to judge whether we want to look short on the NASDAQ at this level, right? So NVIDIA right now, strong. It's still under that 191 supply, so it's not like it's a breakout move that you should be longing off the open, but it's definitely on a stronger move this morning. MU also potentially, I don't love this trade idea, so don't take this one home to the bank. Not bad at this 290. Not bad. It's this Wednesday high right here. It could be that retracement long, right? This could be your retracement long from these lows. It's like probably a 38.2. Yeah, it's right around that 38.2 to 50% retracement. Right? And it just sort of holds this 290 spot. I think that is possible. I would be much more confident to be long down here, right, on a pullback to 280. But you could look for that retracement long around 290 today. MU has been a massively strong stock. News. All right, so we got news. Looks like the ES is right at the 69.40. Holy crap. Yeah, this is a huge spot today. What are we going to do at yesterday's lows? Right here. So important. So important. Okay. We're right at the inflection point. We are right at the inflection point. Yep. SPY's right at Tuesday lows. Q's pushing right into that daily 20. This is going to be a very important read here today. All right. Broadcom still just holding its key demand level, right? Really nice job by Broadcom to maintain. You can see right here, all right? Very nice. Maintaining our same level for the last few days. holding, 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 holding. So if the semis are strong today, then Broadcom could be another watch off this major low. That's not a bad watch there. AMD still needs to get over 217. Really nothing going on there. TSM looks like a nice long-term hold, right? Just sort of chilling, just sort of grinding higher. There's really no entry for me here, but TSM just sort of continues to consolidate and move higher. That's about it for the semis. Yeah, Broadcom risk-reward's pretty good. Yeah, I would agree with that, Bart. Broadcom risk-reward's definitely on the right side of, if it can hold there. ES looks like it just rejected 69.40. Okay, yeah. Big-ass spot. All right, let's see what that does. Let's go to ASML. ASML is such an interesting stock. ASML still holding our 1060, by the way. All right, look at this. We talked about 1060 on Monday. 1060 still holding on ASML. All right. What else? All right, let's get into some big cap, large cap tech. Apple, nothing. I got nothing to report here, man. This thing has been just radio silent. This is complete radio silence. So nothing on Apple. I don't even know where you would even start to trade that stock right now. Google, still doing its thing. It's just consolidating like the rest of the market, but absolutely still holding its key level, right? Google's still there. I mean, it's not doing it clean. It's the furthest thing from clean right now. But is it still holding the must-hold low at 311.85? Absolutely, right? It's still holding here and still could be sort of building that flagging move. So I would make sure you have Google on watch on a daily basis here. This is definitely intriguing. If the market can find that out, needs to hold the 311.85. Meta, nice day for it yesterday. Rejected the 200, so the 200 SMA still showing its muscles, right? Saying, hey, we need to break this before we actually break out. You can see the 675 and 200 SMA. Again, the same rejection point. It's a strong day for Meta, and I think Meta is a no-brainer long-term. I mean, to me, I bought shares. I will continue to hold those shares. I bought them down at the 620s. I bought more around 607, I believe it was. So I continue to hold these shares. I will not sell them. This is the long-term trade for me. In terms of options trades right now, sort of nothing on it. But if we get over that 200 SMA at 675, I think you can get some life. So I would be watching that 675, 200 SMA definitely on Meta. Amazon, another one that's begging for a breakout, right? Take a look at this, Amazon. Amazon just begging to break 233. You have a very clear hold at the daily 50. You just need the 233 break. Look at how many days in a row 233 just will not break. It's just funny how it won't break this level. Look at this. 233, 233, 233, 233, 233. 4 days in a row just can't get above that level. If you can break it, hold it, and pop off of it, that would be a really nice look on Amazon. Coinbase holding on by a Cheeto. You guys have seen that meme, the Cheeto meme, the lock and Cheeto meme. Let's pull it up because it's always funny to look at. Here is Coinbase's low right now. Right here. There's your this right here is 241.50, right? 241, 231. 231.50 is right here. This is 231.50 on Coinbase right here. This lock or this Cheeto. I don't know how it's still holding here, but it is. Every day it just sort of finds some lasting demand off that 231.50. Right underneath that 231.50, you have a massive gap below, right? Look at this. Look at this daily chart. You have this massive gap on Coinbase under 231.50 into 214, but it just will not break that level. So when it does, I think we want to make sure we're there for it because there's opportunity below. But, I mean, look at yesterday's low. I think it's actually exactly the level. Look at this. Oh, my God. It is. Look at yesterday's low. Yesterday's low, 231.50 on the dot right there. Right? So someone does not want it to break this level, clearly. But if it does, I think you pay attention below 231.50. And I would wait to see if that goes off today. Very simply. Very simple. Palantir. Let's go to Palantir. Let's go to Hood. Let's go to Palantir and Hood. And that's really it for me today. Palantir and Hood. Palantir really has been quite weak lately. Has given back the entire move, which is unfortunate. Looked like it was going to start to get going, and just sort of that 196 level just said, no, sir. I mean, that thing smacked it. You're back at a major demand level, so could be setting up a new opportunity for us, right? Major lows, previous major highs, daily 100 SMA. Let's just sort of see what happens on Palantir down at these lows. Definitely a big spot. Not much for me on it today. Hood, another one that has been weak, but also... Uh-oh. We still live? Yeah, we're still live. Okay. YouTube just shut down on me. Hood, another one, big level, 112, 113, right? Big lows here, right? Take a look at this. Another big low here on Hood. Nice bear flag, right? Nice break, retest, rejection. That trade is now over, though, all right? Now that we're at these demand lows. Hood under 112 wakes up another downside move right here. Look at this. Under 112, you could wake up another pretty big downside move. Under this low, under these lows. So I have an alert at that 112 to see what happens there. That's really it, guys. This is not a market where like everything is an interesting opportunity. I think you have to be very selective. It looks like to me right now that short idea that we have is starting to sort of be in question. You definitely have, these daily 20 demands below on the ES. And if you do not see a rejection at previous day lows today, guys, you need to instantly back off that idea, okay? This cannot be an idea you marry today. It must reject yesterday's lows for that to be a look. The QQQ has to fail the daily 20. If we do not fail this daily 20, and if we get back above it, right, then you are not going to get that downside move. Okay? You are not going to get that downside move. So keep an eye on that today. That's the key. There's really no other major key that I could provide today besides watch PDL and daily 20 on the QQQ. That's it. All right. All right, guys. That's going to be it for our last stream of 2025. I hope you have a successful day out there. I got a tea time lined up for 12 o'clock today. So let's see if we can find some action in the first, the most important part of the day. Out of here by noon, out of here by that noon time frame is what is going to continue to be the right call. I think for most day traders. I don't know many day traders that successful traders that sit around their desk all day. So let's see if we can find that morning action, see if there's anything that's clean, maybe a little reclaim of PDL or a rejection of PDL. If nothing shows up and if we just get right back within this channel from yesterday, let's have the discipline to stay away. Let's have the discipline to not get stuck inside of CHOP. It's, of course, the last day of the year. Don't make it a poor one, right? Don't make it, and you can see right now, we actually just reclaimed. Look at that. So we have reclaimed yesterday's lows on the ES. So now that instantly changes to, does it turn into a support level? Do we now maintain? All right. Do we now turn yesterday's lows back into support? That is now the read that you are going to be looking for. Does the QQQ turn the daily 20 back into lows? That's now the question. That's the question, and you have to answer it through price action, right? All right. Mentorship day today on Wednesday. It's the same thing every Wednesday. So, yep, I'll be with the mentorship. Good luck today out there. Press that like button before you head out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Get ready for a nice new year of content, videos, education, more live trades, and all that good jazz. Thanks again for all the support. Happy New Year. Be safe out there tonight. Don't do anything stupid. Enjoy your day off tomorrow. Yeah, forgot about that. No live stream tomorrow. Day off tomorrow. So we get a nice day off, nice day to relax away from the markets. We come back Friday. So I will see you guys on Friday on the live stream for the first stream of 2026. I will see you then. Peace and love. Peace and love.